Hi team, I'm Megan. Welcome to a standing mobility warm-up. We will start by bending the knees slightly, pulling in the lower abs, and we're taking the shoulders forward, up, back, and around. We'll be warming up the whole body, oiling all of the joints. Now we lead with the elbows forward, up, back, and around. Now we lead, long arms, pinky fingers lead the way forward, up, back, and around. We keep on going. There's 2, and 1. Then the elbows are sliding on down, core is soft, knees are in. The pinky fingers find each other in front, and then we open, thumbs pointing to the back wall. We keep the elbows and the forearms in, hugging the rib cage. We're strengthening the rotator cuffs in the shoulders. And there's 3, 2, and 1. We open on out, arms find the legs. Knees are soft, core is in as we start our side slides. Nice work. There's 4, 2, and 1. We soften the knees, we bring the hands in front, and then we open the arms diagonally. Slow motion, letting the shoulders open. We bend the knees, hands find each other. We open diagonally. We take these at our own depth. Could be a small knee bend, and then a lift. Or we could go much further, bringing the rib cage closer to the thighs as we open. 4 more like that. As we go, we're keeping a long, straight spine. So from the side, it looks like this. Long, strong spines as we go. Last one. And then we start our swimming. We're bending the knees, hands find each other. We swim up to the sky and then through treacle. On the way down, bending the knees that little bit more each time. Up to the sky. Then pressing through the molasses on the way down. 3 more like that. Breathing in as we reach, breathing out as we press and swim down. 2. And 1. Then we're heading on up. Elbows are in. Hands, fingers curling in, and we're circling at the wrists a little bit that way. A little bit that way. We bring the elbows a little further away from us, and now we're circling the forearms so that the elbow joints get lubricated there. A little bit that way. A little bit that way. Then we're reaching for the sky. Fingertips find the shoulders. Elbows are bending. We bend the knees and the elbows circle forward, looking for each other. They circle up, back, and around. We keep on going. There's 2, and 1, and then the other way. Elbows point to the sky, and then they point in front, around to the back, and up. There's 2, and 1. Reaching for the sky, elbows bend, hands find the hips or the waist, knees soften, core is in, and we're doing little circles of the hips. We let the rib cage, the shoulders, elbows and hands move along with us as well. We meet in the middle. We go the other way. Knees are bending the whole time. We start with small circles and then we add on. Just letting the joints move. 2 and 1. From here, we bring the knees and feet closer together. Slight bend in the knees. And now we're holding the thighs as we guide the knees in little circles over the ankles. The feet and hips also get a little bit of movement there. And 1, we meet in the middle and we go the other way with the knee circles. 2, and 1. We tuck and curl on up, knees and feet a little bit further apart. They're parallel. We check our posture, and then we're raising one heel so the toes open onto the floor for a nice stretch. And we lower. Other side. We lift the heel, we stretch, and lower. We decide if we're continuing with slow motion, heel raises, or if we're turning this into foot pedals. Raising one heel, other heel. We're keeping the hips nice and strong and straight as we go. And there's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both heels are coming down. We're softening the knees as we reach for the sky. Then we're bending at the elbows, hips, and knees, coming down with a really long spine and a flat back. Knees, ankles, hips, everything is in alignment. I'm going to come sideways so that you can see the long, flat back. We're pushing the hips to the wall behind us, shoulders away from the ears. We're in our standing cow stretch. We go into the opposite stretch by tucking and curling through the hips, pressing the upper back to the sky, tucking the chin in. And there's our standing cat stretch. From here, we continue at our own pace, lengthening the spine, pushing the hips away, and then tucking and curling up, opening the upper back to the sky. 2 more like that. Breathing in as we lengthen, breathing out as we tuck and curl. This last one, we keep heading down. We're bringing the rib cage towards the thighs, bending the knees deeply. The hands find the legs, the shoes, or the mat, and we tuck the chin in, and then we're lengthening the legs and bending the knees. Could be a small lift of the hips to the sky, and then we bend the knees, or we could start to go further, lengthening the legs as much as we're happy to go, and then bending the knees that little bit deeper each time. Breathing in as we bend the knees, breathing out as we tuck and press the hips to the sky. There's 3, 2, and number 1. As we tilt, we tuck the chin in and we roll on up through the spine, meeting up with shoulders up, back, and around. Then we're bending the knees and we're starting to march along with toy soldier arms. One thumb is pointing back behind us. The other pinky finger is pointing behind us and lower. We go for 2 and 1, and here we come again, reaching for the sky, breathing in as we lengthen. We breathe out as we bend at the elbows, hips, and knees. We still have our spinal extension, long, flat spine, core in as we go a little deeper. Hands find the legs, the shoes, or the mat. And this time we're doing one leg at a time. We're lengthening one leg while the other knee is bending. Then we bend both knees, and then we lengthen and bend. We continue at our own pace, our own depth. Really stretching through hips and hamstrings. And there's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we're bending both knees, core is in, and we tuck and curl on up. Shoulders are up, back, and around. We meet at the front. We're taking the knees and feet a little bit wider. We're relaxing through the knees and feet. And then we bend the knees and we rotate, giving ourselves a hug. We bend and hug. One forearm in front, one behind on the hugs. And we're aiming for that long spine, long neck. And there's 4, 3, 2, and 1. We meet back in the middle, hands to the hips, checking shoulders are down before we guide the right ear towards the right shoulder. We can add the cradle stretch with the right arm heading on up, gently cradling the head. We can keep the left hand here at the waist if we prefer. Or we're taking the left hand, we're sliding a little bit behind our back or a lot behind our back, guiding the whole lower arm behind us. We might even be able to see the fingertips. Then we stand up that little bit taller, guiding the right ear towards the right shoulder. A little more rotation for the neck. We soften the knees as we transition and we're looking down at our own right arm there for a moment. We soften the knees when we transition back to the front. And then we soften the knees to release the right arm. And then we're heading up and over. Reaching and reaching, opening all the way from the fingertips through the shoulder to the hip. And then we release. Then this right arm does 2 giant circles forward. 1 and 2. 2 giant circles to the back. 1 and 2. We're heading on down and we're checking our posture before we go for the next stretch on the other side. Hands at the hips, left ear to left shoulder. We can soften the knees and add the left arm as the cradle. We can keep the right hand at the waist, or possibly we're sliding it behind us. Maybe the whole lower arm is sliding behind us, and we might even have our fingertips here. We stand up that little bit more so that we can lengthen through the spine, letting the shoulders melt away from the ears. Core in, we soften the knees whenever we transition, so that now we're rotating and we're looking down our left side. We transition to the front, and then we soften the knees. We release the left arm. We bend the knees as this left arm does the 2 giant circles forward. And 2 giant circles back. And 2. Then we're bending the knees, reaching the arms up for a moment. Elbows are bending as we come on down and back. We've got these letter W arms. We bend the knees and the elbows, and then we lengthen the legs. We lengthen the arms up to the letter V. We head back down to the letter W. We head on up. And there's 2. And 1. Then we head all the way up. Hands clasp overhead. We circle through the wrists and the hands. Maybe we're exaggerating, adding the hips, elbows, shoulders, rib cage. We reach on up, we clasp with the other thumb in front, we bend the knees and elbows, we start with our wrists and hands, and then we go the other way, circling hips. We let everything move. And 1, and then we're heading on up, hands to the waist, raising one heel and the other heel. Hope you feel like all your joints are warmed up and ready for the rest of the day. Ready to go and exercise now, or ready to go back if you've been working away. We're all warmed up, ready to continue working at our desks. Give yourselves a nice little shake through the wrists, a kick through the knees and the feet, and give yourselves a clap. Thank you so much for joining me with this standing joint warm-up, and have a great day. See you next time.